like to say I'm not a violent man. The trouble just has a way of finding me. But I'd be lying. Doesn't matter where I go. How far I run. Death's always waiting. Just not for me. Because I ain't no hero. I'm Wolverine.
Wolverine is Insomniac's next big project, built in the same Marvel universe as their Spider-Man games, but leaning into a much darker tone. You play as Logan, exploring a story that digs into his violent past and the cost of being both a mutant and a weapon. Along the way, you'll run into heavy hitters like Mystique, Omega Red, the Reavers, and even the Sentinels. The journey spans across Madripoor's neon-lit underworld, Japan's urban sprawl, and the frozen wilderness of Canada. The game isn't open world like Spider-Man. Instead, it uses a semi-open structure with hub zones designed to keep the focus on combat and storytelling. Fights are as brutal as fans hoped, built entirely around Wolverine's claws with heavy finishers, savage takedowns, and Insomniac's new blood tech that makes gore, wounds, and stains look disturbingly real. Every slash feels weighty, and enemies don't just drop, they react violently to each hit. On the technical side, it's pushing PS5 hardware with ray tracing, detailed animations, and support for the PS5 Pro. Environments look alive, character models are highly detailed, and the tone feels raw compared to other Marvel games. Wolverine releases in fall 2026 exclusively on PlayStation 5.
No sign of 009.
We need to inform M.
No time. I'm going after him. Make him call off the attack.
Are you out of your mind?
I'll be careful. He'd bin the phone.
Go to the security room, first floor.
And you are?
Rob Minkley.
He's with me.
Come on, Moneypenny. If I lose the trail, we'll never know who they're working for. Oi, you lads got a faulty coffee machine?
I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
You're not, Damien. Meet
Bond. James Bond.
If 009 slips through our fingers, we're the last line of defense.
Someone just tried to kill me.
Tell me you caught him.
Any sage advice?
Play nice.
Always.
"007 First Light" is IO Interactive's take on James Bond, and instead of adapting a movie, it builds a fresh origin story. You play a young Bond, just 26 years old before he earns his 00 status. The game reimagines classic characters like M, Q, and Moneypenny, while also introducing new faces such as John Greenway, Miss Roth, and Selena Tan, played by Gemma Chan. The focus here is variety. Missions mix stealth, infiltration, and all-out action, with plenty of gadgets that go beyond being simple gimmicks. Expect tools like the classic laser watch, smoke bombs, and multi-purpose devices that change how you approach each scenario. The gameplay reveal showed Bond sneaking through a chess tournament in Slovakia, and later infiltrating a gala in London, giving a taste of both quiet, methodical play and stylish spy spectacle. It's built on IO's Glacier engine, the same one behind Hitman, so expect detailed environments and flexible mission design that let you choose your approach. There's also driving sequences, sharp gunplay, and branching encounters that make each mission feel replayable. 007 First Light releases on March 27, 2026 for PS5, Xbox Series X&S, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2.
Hostiles inbound. 100 meters in closing.
I got 2. East side.
Moving right to left.
I got 3 west side. Frame shoot. On the T of execute. 3, 2, 1. Execute.
The world as it's commonly known has crumbled. Alliances that held since the end of World War II, gone.
Dagger, this is Pax's ballsiest play yet.
If they succeed, they will have secured the most strategic rock in the history of warfare. Want to help our friends take back this rock? Hoorah!
You're playing a dangerous game, no doubt about it. Wouldn't be Dagger without insurmountable odds.
The whole world's gonna look different now. Just takes a little shake of perspective.
Gotta love a challenge.
Stand by for re-attack call.
Light them up! We gotta move! Woo! On!
DK will pay for this.
But we don't know how high it goes.
You trying to start a war with the CIA?
That is not the fucking question!
This is it. I know what I gotta do.
Battlefield 6 is bringing the series back in a big way, with DICE and multiple EA studios teaming up on the next-gen Frostbite engine. The campaign is set in 2027, where a private military force called Pax Armata rises to power as NATO struggles to hold itself together. It's a more grounded story that takes cues from modern conflicts and gritty war films, aiming for the intensity of Battlefield 3 and 4. On the multiplayer side, you'll find all the classics like Conquest, Breakthrough, and Rush, along with a new large-scale mode called Escalation. There are 9 maps at launch, ranging from Egypt's deserts to New York's streets and Gibraltar's fortifications. Destruction is back too. Buildings, walls, and cover can all be torn apart to change the flow of battle in real time. New systems also shake things up. The kinesthetic combat system adds more fluid movement, letting you lean, vault, and even drag teammates to safety. Portal mode returns with deeper editing tools, and a full Battle Royale mode joins the lineup with 100 players and brutal ring mechanics. Combined with dynamic weather and large-scale chaos, this is designed to feel like the ultimate Battlefield sandbox. Battlefield 6 launches on October 10, 2025 for PS5, Xbox Series X&S, and PC.
We fight those who wield power to prey on the weak. Beasts who think themselves men. That is what it means to be a Greyman. The time has come to do what we believe to be right. Cliff, seek out your Greyman comrades. Uncover the truth that lies within. And let your heart speak without fear.
In the end, all will come together as one. We fight for the future of all. Sound the horn of our final battle. Fight! Fight for Pywell!
Your fight is not for revenge, nor glory, nor pride. Remember who you are, and let it guide your path. For at the end of it, you will find the answers you seek.
Crimson Desert is Pearl Abyss's upcoming open-world action-adventure built on their new Black Space engine. The game takes place on the war-torn continent of Pywell, where you play as Cliff McDuff, a mercenary leader struggling with his past and the weight of leading a band of fighters. The story is separate from Black Desert, so you don't need to know the MMO. This is a standalone narrative. Combat is one of the main highlights. It's fast, combo-driven, and plays almost like a fighting game. You can chain slashes, vault over enemies, grab and throw them, launch aerial strikes, or slam them into the ground. Movement is also versatile, with horse riding, grappling hooks, and even gliding teased in gameplay previews. The world reacts to the chaos too. Massive battles break out, physics-driven destruction changes the flow, and enemies swarm in groups that keep fights messy and unpredictable. Role-playing elements are lighter compared to traditional RPGs. You'll have equipment and loot, but the focus stays on action rather than grinding levels. Previews have also mentioned both impressive scale and a bit of visual chaos during larger encounters, so it's shaping up to be ambitious but intense. Crimson Desert releases on March 19th, 2026 for PS5, Xbox Series X&S, and PC.
I will find every last member of the Yōtei 6, and I will bring you peace. I swear it.
Creatures such as you and I cannot resist the call of revenge.
I found something new to live for.
Ghost of Yōtei is Sucker Punch's follow-up to Ghost of Tsushima, but it's not a direct sequel. The game jumps ahead more than 3 centuries, set in 1603 on the northern lands of Izo, today known as Hokkaido. You play as Atsu, a mercenary scarred by loss who takes on the mantle of an Onryo, a spirit of vengeance, to hunt down the Yōtei 6, a band of ruthless warlords led by Lord Saito. Each one has their own style and identity, from Snake to Oni to Kitsune, and you can choose the order in which to face them. The setting feels harsher than Tsushima, with snowy tundras, dense forests, and rugged mountains shaping exploration. Combat leans heavier too, giving you access to dual katanas, odachi, kusarigama, and other weapons that open up new ways to fight. The game also adds presentation modes beyond Kurosawa mode, Takashi Miike mode for dramatic close-ups, and Shinichiro Watanabe mode for a more relaxed vibe during exploration. On top of the single-player story, a free Legends multiplayer mode will arrive in 2026, offering co-op missions and survival challenges with mythological twists, letting players team up against demonic versions of the Yōtei 6. Ghost of Yōtei launches October 2nd, 2025, exclusively on PlayStation 5.
DI-03367. They are Pragmata.
Whoa, hang on a second. Don't you have a name or something?
I'm good.
Get behind me!
I think I can help.
Targets identified. Neutralizing threats.
Neutralize us?
Looks like we're gonna have to fight our way through. What the?
Bypassing first and second firewalls. Hooking control protocols. Initiating hack.
Pragmata is Capcom's new sci-fi adventure, and it's been a long time coming after multiple delays. The game takes place on a lunar research station where you play as Hugh Williams, an astronaut separated from his crew after a lunar quake. He's joined by Diana, an android companion who becomes key to both the story and gameplay. Together, they need to survive hostile AI and find a way back to Earth. The hook is in how you control both characters in tandem. Hugh fights with weapons and uses a thruster pack for dodging and quick movement, while Diana hacks into enemies and systems to break down their defenses. In combat, her hacking exposes weak points, letting you land heavy damage, and in exploration, she opens blocked paths and systems. Recent previews even showed her using multi-hacks to disable several enemies at once. Outside combat, there's a shelter hub where you can upgrade gear, weapons like the charge piercer and decoy generator, and even use a tram system to fast travel between escape hatches. It feels like a mix of action, puzzle solving, and survival, wrapped in Capcom's usual attention to detail. Pragmata is set to release in 2026 for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC.
Hello? Yes.
Who was it?
Dunno. They asked for Miss Ashcroft and then they hung up on me. Rude.
Oh, you're FBI? Investigating all these strange deaths, huh?
Grace. Stay close to me.
I'm coming!
Keep moving.
What's wrong?
I'll explain later.
I've been watching you. You're not like other people, you know. You're quite unique.
Tell me what's going on.
Something important.
Mom, I'm scared.
Grace. They're coming.
There's no escaping your destiny.
Resident Evil Requiem is the 9th mainline entry in Capcom's survival horror series, and it puts the spotlight on a brand new lead. You play as Grace Ashcroft, an FBI technical analyst drawn back to Raccoon City decades after its destruction. She's investigating a string of mysterious deaths at the Wrenwood Hotel, the same place her mother was killed, and quickly finds herself trapped in a nightmare filled with creatures and conspiracies that tie back to the city's dark history. Grace isn't a hardened fighter like Leon or Jill. She's more vulnerable, and the game leans into that fear by focusing on stealth, evasion, and resource management. You'll crouch, sneak, hide, and use distractions like bottles or even a lighter to get through terrifying encounters. A relentless stalker enemy hunts you throughout the story, keeping tension high in a way that recalls Mr. X and Lady Dimitrescu. The game also lets you switch between first-person and third-person views at any time, combining the immersion of Resident Evil 7 and Village with the classic over-the-shoulder style of the remakes. It's all powered by an updated RE engine with path tracing, advanced lighting, and decayed environments that bring a ruined Raccoon City back to life in a haunting new way. Resident Evil Requiem releases on February 27th, 2026 for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. Phantom Blade Zero is a new action RPG from S-Game, running on Unreal Engine 5 and mixing martial arts fantasy with dark steampunk vibes. You play as Soul, an elite assassin framed for killing the leader of the Order. Gravely injured during his escape, he's saved by mystical means but only given 66 days to uncover the truth, clear his name, and survive. The world, called Phantom World, is built around interconnected zones rather than one giant map, with areas that shift between Wuxia-inspired landscapes and grim, almost gothic backdrops. Combat is fast and flashy, with a heavy focus on chaining combos, wall running, and cinematic finishers. You can carry 2 main blades and 2 phantom edges like axes or hammers, swapping between styles mid-fight. Defensive play matters too, with parries, dodges, and blocks all tested by enemies who use brutal moves to punish mistakes. On higher difficulties, bosses even adapt dynamically, reading your moves instead of sticking to predictable patterns. Add in branching story choices and multiple endings, and it's clear the game is built to feel more than just a standard Souls-like. Phantom Blade Zero is coming to PlayStation 5 and PC, with its release date still to be confirmed.
必须在破城之前把宁带出来。
安宁，等着我。
安宁，安宁，
阿宇。 将追随杀出一举。
去长安，你这是让他们去送死！
输赢成败，皆如沙上之塔，风来。 为众生之苦，长漫于天地之间。
回家吧，这一切毫无意义。
天命所归，
我才是大唐。
到头来。 更多人，什么都不会改变。
没有我的帮助，你走不出这片沙漠。
Blood Message is a new single-player action-adventure from NetEase's 24 Entertainment Studio. Built on Unreal Engine 5 and set during the late Tang Dynasty in 848 AD. You play as a nameless messenger, joined by his young son, on a desperate journey to deliver a vital message across more than 1,000 miles of dangerous terrain. The story is about loyalty, sacrifice, and survival, paying tribute to ordinary people swept up in history's chaos. The path east takes you through deserts, mountains, and war-torn lands, where every step feels harsh and uncertain. Combat is brutal and grounded, mixing close-quarters fighting with stealth and survival elements. You'll manage scarce resources, sneak past stronger foes, and push through sieges and hostile encounters, all while protecting your son and keeping the mission alive. The developers have focused on historical accuracy, recreating real-world sites like the He Corridor and digitizing ancient relics to bring authenticity to the world. That attention to detail shows in the environments, with sweeping landscapes, shifting weather, and a grounded style that makes every battle feel more desperate. Blood Message is coming to PC and consoles, with a release date still to be announced.
Dad.
Oh, yes. So, this gauntlet is for you. You pop this on, you get the power of the Oni, and you'll be back topside.
I walk the path of the sword on my strength alone. I don't need some monster's power.
The power of the Oni is all that's sustaining your life. That's an Oni gauntlet.
Musashi! Gunbu! This thing's made me so damn strong.
Musashi, I cannot apologize enough for dragging you down this path against your will.
If I take this gauntlet off, I'll be a bloody mess on the floor anyway.
This isn't what you promised, Gauntlet.
My troop was attacked, and one of our members is missing. Save this world.
Fighting Genma wasn't the path I'd planned, but who knows? Maybe it'll be worth my while.
Well said!
What in the... Get a hold of yourself! Are you a man or a beast? Getting strong because of some gauntlet. That's not strength.
I'm gonna eat all the souls you got in there.
Turns out, Miyamoto Musashi was just a brute with a sword after all.
Being tough isn't enough. A warrior meditates on what strength really means. Enjoying your new toys, I see.
Onimusha Way of the Sword is Capcom's revival of the classic Samurai series, rebuilt in the RE engine for PS5, Xbox Series X&S, and PC. This time you play as Miyamoto Musashi, modeled after the legendary actor Toshiro Mifune, in a dark fantasy version of Kyoto plagued by the demonic Genma. Alongside his katana skills, Musashi wields the Oni Gauntlet, a mystical artifact that absorbs souls from enemies and powers up his abilities. Combat focuses on precision and blade-to-blade clashes rather than trial-and-error difficulty. You'll string together fast one-handed strikes, heavier two-handed attacks, and parries that can stagger enemies. Perfect timing lets you trigger Break Isen, a devastating counter that can instantly kill weaker foes or chunk bosses for huge damage. The gauntlet absorbs different soul types to heal, upgrade, or fuel special powers, adding a layer of resource management to every fight. It's more linear than open-ended with set missions and boss duels, but Capcom has emphasized fluid animations, cinematic clashes, and accessible design that still keeps battles intense. Expect about 20 hours of story, plenty of Genma demons, and a sharp focus on the art of sword combat rather than grinding. Onimusha Way of the Sword is scheduled to release in 2026 for PS5, Xbox Series X&S, and PC.
Our gods have forsaken us for fear of the coming darkness consumes all but you, lamp bearer. Something stirs within you, something ancient, powerful, hungry. So I ask you, will you harness this darkness within and deliver unto our so-called lords retribution? Should you fall, the world falls with you.
Lords of the Fallen 2 continues CI Games' dark fantasy RPG series, taking place 100 years after the events of the last game. The veil between the world of the living and the umbral realm is breaking down, letting horrors spill through and corrupt the land. You once again wield the Umbral Lamp, a tool that lets you shift between realms, uncover hidden paths, and face threats that can't even be seen in the living world. Combat is more brutal and punishing this time. Fights are designed to be faster and more decisive, forcing you to commit to every strike or dodge. New execution moves make finishing enemies even more visceral, while the risk of diving into Umbral keeps exploration tense. It's a place of secrets and power, but also constant danger. The world itself is built around duality, with areas and encounters that change depending on which realm you're in. New abilities tied to the Umbral allow for more interaction between these layers, creating a mix of high-stakes exploration and tough encounters. Combined with improved systems and lessons learned from the 2023 game, the sequel aims to feel more refined without losing its oppressive atmosphere. Lords of the Fallen 2 is scheduled to launch in 2026 for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC.
대동강변 열대거리 큰 먼저 이름은 혈자리가 못자리라 기어코 여기까지 참으로 정성이십니다.
Woochi the Wayfarer is a new action-adventure from Nexon Games and Lore Vault Studio, built in Unreal Engine 5 and set during Korea's Joseon era. You play as Jian Woochi, a young mage in training, stepping into a world that blends real history with folklore. The game mixes traditional culture with fantasy, so you'll see hanbok clothing and classic settings alongside mythical beings like Dokebi and Gumiho. The focus is on fast-paced combat and magical abilities, though the developers haven't fully shown the systems yet. What we do know is that Woochi won't just rely on swordplay. His mage background hints at spells and supernatural powers becoming just as important as blades. The world leans into Korean legends, with monsters and environments designed to reflect a cultural authenticity rarely seen in games. Visually, it's one of Nexon's most ambitious single-player projects, with the entire reveal trailer running in-engine. The music also has pedigree behind it, coming from Jung Jae-il, the composer for Parasite and Squid Game, giving the game an atmospheric and dramatic sound. Woochi the Wayfarer is in development for PS5, Xbox Series X&S, and PC, with a release date still to be announced.
You think you're the Harbinger. You might be.
Mortal Shell 2 is Cold Symmetry's follow-up to their cult Souls-like, and it's expanding the formula in big ways. The shell system is back, letting you inhabit different warriors with their own unique playstyles, but this time the combat is more aggressive. One of the biggest changes is the removal of stamina management, pushing players to fight faster and rely on timing, dodges, and shell abilities instead of holding back. The game also adds ranged options, something completely new for the series. Early reveals showed shotguns, revolvers, and even a machine gun style crossbow alongside the brutal melee weapons. It still keeps the heavy, punishing style, but now you'll have more tools to deal with enemies and vary your approach. The world itself is much larger than the original, with the developers teasing over 60 dungeons to explore, each filled with grotesque creatures, traps, and secrets. Combined with more weapon upgrades and expanded systems, Mortal Shell 2 is shaping up to be both bigger and more flexible while keeping its dark, heavy metal edge. Mortal Shell 2 is planned for release in 2026 on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Ananta is NetEase's upcoming urban open-world RPG built around fast traversal and anime-inspired style. Set in a sprawling city called Nova Inception Urbs, you play as an ACD agent investigating anomalies while building a team to face hidden threats. The world blends neon skyscrapers, everyday life, and supernatural chaos, making it feel like a mix of sci-fi and modern street culture. Traversal is one of the game's biggest hooks. You can sprint, climb, swing, and parkour across rooftops without worrying about stamina bars. And each character has their own unique twist, like turning a hammer into a motorbike. Combat is just as flexible. You'll fight using blades, fists, ranged weapons, and even improvised tools from the environment, with the option to switch between a team of 4 characters during bigger battles. The city itself is alive, packed with non-player characters, random events, and interactive elements. You can stumble into gang fights, break traffic rules, or even snoop on people's phones as part of the urban immersion. NetEase has also confirmed that this won't be a gacha game. Every playable character can be unlocked through gameplay, with monetization limited to cosmetics, outfits, and home customization. Ananta is in development for PS5, PC, and mobile, with its release dates still to be announced.
What you doing up there?
I'm just fixing some leaks.
Seriously, dude, you got some time on your hands. I got some properties with paying tenants.
Oh, that's why you came by?
Just go get me my checks.
See you, Brian. Love you, Jason.
GTA 6 is Rockstar's next big leap, taking the series back to Vice City and the wider state of Leonida, a world inspired by Florida. The map covers everything from dense city streets to rural backroads, swampy wetlands, and the sunny island chains of the Leonida Keys. It's built to be the most detailed and living world Rockstar has ever made. The story follows 2 protagonists, Jason Duval and Lucia Caminos. Lucia is the first female lead in the series, and together with Jason, she's pulled into a modern crime saga that takes on everything from gangs and robberies to social media culture. The game's tone mixes the satirical edge GTA is known for with a more grounded look at loyalty and survival in the underworld. Gameplay sticks to open-world freedom, but with major upgrades in detail and immersion. Crowds are denser, environments react more dynamically, and there's heavy speculation that Rockstar will expand support for roleplay and community content, hinting at modding tools in the future. Combined with the Rage Engine's improvements, GTA 6 is designed to push next-gen consoles to their limits. GTA 6 releases on May 26, 2026 for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. Forza Horizon 6 is taking the festival to Japan, one of the most requested settings in the series. The map spans from the neon-lit streets of Tokyo to the winding roads around Mount Fuji, blending dense city driving with mountain passes and countryside stretches. It's also the biggest map Playground Games has ever built, designed to capture the essence of Japan's car culture rather than being a strict one-to-one replica. The game continues Horizon's open-world racing style, but with more focus on cultural authenticity. Playground Games brought in a cultural consultant and spent time traveling through Japan to make sure landmarks, traditions, and the vibe of the streets come across naturally in the game. Expect the usual variety of events, drifting routes, off-road trails, and dynamic weather systems that shift how you approach each race. Horizon 6 is also set to push visuals and scale further with Unreal Engine 5 tech, bringing higher density environments, sharper details, and smooth transitions between urban and rural driving. And, like past games, it'll be included on Game Pass day one for both console and PC players. Forza Horizon 6 launches in 2026 for Xbox Series X and S and PC, with a PlayStation 5 version arriving later. Atomic Heart 2 takes Mundfish's alternate history Soviet world and blows it up onto a bigger stage. Instead of being confined to Facility 3826, the sequel expands to new regions and a wider global conflict, with fresh characters and returning faces shaping the story. The tone is still surreal and unsettling, with retro-futuristic tech, nightmarish machines, and twisted bio-experiments making the world feel alive and unpredictable. Gameplay is stepping up with more freedom and deeper systems. Combat now allows dual hand usage, letting you mix melee weapons, guns, and glove powers at the same time for faster, more dynamic fights. Trailers also tease more vertical exploration, wall running, and traversal tools like gliders, pushing movement into new territory. The environments feel less like closed corridors and more like a living ecosystem, full of side encounters and interactive spaces. Mundfish is also leaning into ambitious design. Giant set pieces like flying cities, massive biome zones, and grotesque bosses that play into the series' heavy sci-fi horror style. With new weapons, expanded RPG mechanics, and even a connected spin-off in development, this sequel is aiming to feel much larger in scale than the original. Atomic Heart 2 is in development for PS5, Xbox Series X&S, and PC, with the release date yet to be confirmed. The Outer Worlds 2 takes Obsidian's satirical sci-fi RPG and heads to a brand new colony called Arcadia. You play as an Earth Directorate agent sent to investigate strange rifts, cutting the planet off from the rest of civilization. That premise sets up a power struggle between factions like the Protectorate, Auntie's Choice, a merger of Auntie Cleo's and Spacer's Choice, and more mysterious groups with their own agendas. The game is built on Unreal Engine 5 and expands the formula with deeper RPG systems and larger environments. Character creation is more impactful this time. You'll pick a background, traits, and tag skills that shape your playstyle with no respecs once you're past the tutorial. 6 new companions join you on the journey, each with their own stories, but no returning cast from the first game. Combat also feels sharper, with better gunplay, new science weapons, and improved mobility like sliding and double jumps. Exploration ties into the politics of Arcadia. Towns and territories can change hands depending on your choices, and propaganda shifts as factions rise or fall. It's designed to feel like a living, reactive colony where your decisions echo across the world. The Outer Worlds 2 launches October 29, 2025 for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Arc Raiders is Embark Studios' new extraction shooter set in a post-apocalyptic Earth where humanity hides underground while robotic Arc forces dominate the surface. You play as a raider from the city of Speranza, venturing topside to scavenge resources, fight back against the machines, and make it out alive with your loot. Each raid runs about 30 minutes and blends PvE combat against Arc drones with PvP clashes against other players chasing the same rewards. If you die before extraction, you lose everything, so risk management is just as important as firepower. Extraction points vary, from elevators to metro stations and even rare raider hatches that require keys. Once back underground, you can sell loot, upgrade skills, and craft new gear for the next run. Combat is fast and team-focused, but solo play is supported with matchmaking that balances you against other lone players. The game has cross-play and cross-save, and while it was originally pitched as free-to-play, it's now a premium release with standard and deluxe editions. Before launch, a Server Slam open beta will test, balance, and polish with cosmetic rewards for participants. Arc Raiders launches October 30th, 2025 for PS5, Xbox Series X&S, and PC. Reanimal is a new survival horror adventure from Tarsier Studios, the team behind Little Nightmares, and it carries that same eerie, unsettling style. The game follows a brother and sister trying to survive in a twisted version of their home while searching for their missing friends. The world feels both familiar and corrupted, blending tragic monster designs with environments that feel alive and hostile. Gameplay mixes exploration, stealth, and puzzle solving with a strong focus on tension. You'll move across land and eventually by boat, unlocking side areas and optional paths as the story progresses. The game supports both local and online co-op, letting two players control the siblings together, though in single player the second character is handled by AI. The presentation keeps both characters on screen with a shared camera, heightening the sense of claustrophobia and teamwork as you sneak past enemies or solve environmental challenges. Tarsier has emphasized that the monsters themselves are tied to the siblings' past, giving every encounter a more personal and emotional weight. Reanimal is set to release in the first quarter of 2026 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2.